So what we were talking about last week was sleep, and how do you get better sleep and sounder sleep, and why?
And so Sandy, we were talking about if you have dry mouth and that type of thing, you're gonna have more cavities, you're gonna have more gum disease, you're gonna have all kinds of problems with sound sleep. And the problem is with most of us, we just ignore our sleep. We just say, well, I'll just go to sleep tonight. It doesn't work that way. So you have to practice sleep just like you practice anything else. If you're going to go out and play golf, you got to practice it. You got to practice it all the time. You want to be good at it. Sleep is no different. So that's what we've been talking about this week and last week. And sleep this week is called "The Sleep is Medicine." It's probably the best medicine you can get for your body. So we'll explain that to you. But first, let's go ahead and open the class with a fist for love and open hand for peace. Put love and peace together, and then turn to your neighbor and say hello, and let's get to know them. Turn to the back and say hello. Say hello to everyone. And then open both hands for world peace. We need a lot of world peace. And put this hand under this one and this one under this. That crosses in front of your heart. Now we've settled our emotions a little bit. Come out to the shoulders here, and now bring the hands down to the knees, and then come up. And that's a gentle bow for the ancient energy masters, because they've been doing these exercises for thousands of years. Did you want this, Jan?
I want to tell you it's vibrating real loud on the microphone.
It's vibrating on the microphone? How's that? How's that?
Closer.
Closer. How's that? That's what I was testing before we started. Anyway, the box is up here, so come up and take a picture of it if you want to order some. It will make a difference, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Let's go ahead and start out by exercising the body a little bit. Remember, movement is medicine, and sleep is medicine. That's movement also. So let's start out by just stretching the body with a couple of exercises. Just cross the fingers here, and then come up and hold the sky with both palms. And then stretch over to one side, stretch the ribs and the heart and the lungs. Now twist from one side to the other, and that's going to open the back. Let's do about 3 of those. Up the center, hold the sky with both palms, and the bamboo bends in the wind. Now it's going to twist in the wind from this side over to this side, just loosening the body up a little bit for our sleep. And then hold the sky with both palms again. And then the bamboo bends and the bamboo twist. Nice and gentle. And let the hands come down. Let's bring them down to the stomach. Right hand on the bottom for the ladies, left hand on the bottom for the men. Put it right over the navel. Now you're over the liver, spleen, kidney, heart, lung, large and small intestines. They need a little exercise to start the day. We have the body stretched out. Now let's do the internal organs. 20 or 30 bellows breaths. So let's begin. Stop, let the hands come up and float down. So we got the body stretched out, got all those bones spread apart, got those ligaments and tendons stretched out, and we got the internal organs working for the day. Let's just do a couple more. Let's do one for brain fitness. We're going to be talking about brain fitness today. That's going to be the key topic. And believe me, sleep is for cognitive fitness. So put your hands like this and put all your fingers together. We'll just practice this a few times. We're going to challenge your brain. Why? Because you lose 700 cells from your brain every day since you were 20 years of age. So the brain's been shrinking. Doctors used to think that's what caused dementia. Then they found out if you challenge the brain, it'll grow back. So open 2 fingers on each side. And if the brain doesn't want to do that, that's good. That means you're challenging it. And put them back together. Now open 2 fingers on the outside only. Nice and gentle. And then put them back together, and then 2 fingers on each side. The harder it is for you to do, the more cells you're challenging the brain. See, I have muscle memory, so I'm not getting as many cells as you, but I have a cognitive reserve pathway. Once you challenge the brain, then those cells will form a pathway in your brain called a cognitive reserve pathway by the medical field. If you have enough of those, it'll overcome dementia as you age. One last time. Now put the hands right on the legs and get one circling. We used to rub our head and pat our stomach. Get one circling and the other one patting. So now the brain says, well, that's pretty easy to do. I can do that. Now I say change hands, and the hands will want to keep going the other direction. So So you're challenging the hands just to change hands. So now the other one's rubbing, make a big circle and a big pat, and then change hands back. See if you can do it without thinking too much about it and get that muscle memory. Change hands. If you want to keep going the other way, then you're challenging your brain. That's good. Change hands. The more you challenge the brain, the more cells you develop. One last time, change hands. And then bring it to a gentle stop. Hands here, we'll just do one more. Bring one hand out as a fist, the other is a tiger's mouth. And then put them back together and put it on the other side. Nice and gentle. Nice and slow. The tiger's mouth has systems that run, that index finger will run all the way down into your large intestine. Your veins and arteries will run back and forth to get blood out there. The fascia membrane will carry energy through the body. Runs all the way from that finger to the large intestine. The thumb will run right into your lungs. See if you can get the index finger and thumb to stick out. Like that. There you go. Perfect. Okay. One last time. And then let the hands come down. So we've challenged the brain a little bit, got it moving. We'll just do one more for the nervous system, and then we'll go into the program today because the program's a little longer than normal. So bring the hands right here. Push one hand deep into the earth, bring the other to the spinal cord, reach up and touch heaven, reach down and touch earth. Now turn the hands and both come along the spinal cord. Up hand coming down to the inside. Now we're starting to squeeze those muscles against the vertebrae. We're going to be working on that a lot today. Why? Because your back is a pump. When you squeeze the muscles, it's not like a heart. It doesn't pump on its own, but when you squeeze the muscles against the vertebrae, it creates a cranial sacral fluid, and that's what we're going to be working on today. It's cranial sacral fluid. Comes right up the back, goes into your brain stem, which is part of your brain, goes right into the cerebellum. And that's where you have your cognitive fitness and you have your balance. So touching heaven and earth one last time. Nice and gentle, and let the hands float down. So let's talk about sleep as a medicine. What sleep does, it restores the body, it calms the mind, and it heals at night. And now, what we're about in here is an educational process so you can learn about your body. The more you know about it, like I say, the healthier you're going to be. So each one of these sessions, we're going to have a particular topic, and then you take your workbook, which you'll get today, your handout, and then put it in a workbook. And if you want to go to sleep, you flip to that. But for the week now, I'm going to give you 3 exercises and 3 pressure points that you can press to open up the veins and the arteries and the meridians, the Zhang and the Fu type meridians. There's 2 type meridians, 2 types of blood vessels. So we're going to open those up today, and we're going to restore the mind. And what we're going to be working on is the glymphatic system. How many of you know the glymphatic system? Okay, so quite a few of you do, so your doctors talk to you about it. The glymphatic system is a system that removes the amyloid plaque from your brain. So it removes plaque from your brain, and then the tau tangles. You see, once that plaque starts to build up in there, then the neurons will get tangled. You have all kinds of tangles through the brain. There's billions of neurons in there. And then inflammation starts to build up in your brain. And it's a byproduct from thinking and activity. So you're going to be really active today. You're going to have all kinds of waste going through. It's going to go right through that brain stem, right into the brain. And it makes a big difference. And when does it work best? The process is most active, so that glymphatic system is most active, and that's a brain system. Remember, that's a brain system when the brain is calm and relaxed. So it works all the time, but especially at night, it's like 10 times stronger at night during active sleep. So if you get that deep sleep, you get 10 times more of that cranial sacral fluid that we were just pumping up into the brain to clear the brain out. So don't ignore your sleep any longer. Really be aware of it. And the glymphatic system is the brain's waste clearing. It clears the waste out of your brain, and it's a cleaning system. So you really have to be aware that that cleaning system is working all the time, and when it does, it's really helping keep that cognitive fitness really strong. During sleep, the brain cells slightly shrink, and then it starts to go through between the cells, and and the fluid flows in your brain. That amyloid and that tau are cleansed very effectively and efficiently. But poor sleep is one of the strongest risk factors for cognitive decline. And how this glymphatic system works is that the craniosacral fluid, called CSF, it flows into the brain along arteries. Now remember, arteries take the blood from the heart and takes it out to the body, and then the veins bring it back. So the artery is going to come up the back, going to go through the brain, and then the veins going to come back and take it back down to the heart, put it into the waste system, and it's going to go out through the waste system. So the heart pumps blood, but the cranial sacral system has no pump. You're the pump. So it's movement. Movement is medicine. So you really need to get that slow movement. So activating the system, one of the best ways to do it is the slow nasal breathing for sleep. So breathing in and out through the nose is very important. That's why we're saying put that strip on your mouth if you're snoring, or if you have your mouth open at night, you have a dry mouth, you're going to find you're going to have more cavities and all kinds of things that go wrong with the system. It clears the brain. And when you do nasal breathing, it enhances the blood flow and supports that cranial sacral movement, that squeezes and releases the muscles and pushes it up into the brain. So nose breathing is a direct gets it active, it gets it moving. It's nose breathing, in and out through the nose, in and out through the nose. And that's why we're saying always in and out through the nose as much as you possibly can. The mouth is for emergencies. If you can't breathe in and out through the nose, if you have a stopped up nose for some reason, then of course use the mouth. But it supports that cranial sacral movement, and it improves the nitric oxide. So those are the two systems that we want to talk about today, is the glymphatic and then the nitric oxide system. And what is the nitric oxide system? That comes also from nose breathing. See, when you nose breathe, air goes up through the cavities, up your sinus cavities here, and it picks up what we call nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is very, very, very good. It goes into every blood cell in your body, and it's like an exercise for the blood cells in your body. That nitric oxide just vasculating back and forth and just gives them a movement. Movement is medicine, so it puts movement into them. So the gentle spinal and neck exercises, Qigong, that we practice a lot of time, that you've learned in the last couple of weeks for sleep, is very good. Now, one of them that we worked on was a wave-like spinal motion. So let's practice that just a little bit. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to be getting that cranial sacral fluid flowing up the back, going into the brain stem, just like we were doing, and then goes right into the brain, and it's going to cleanse the brain out, and then the veins are going to bring it back to the heart, and then it's going to go out through the waste system, through the kidneys, and go out through the waste system. So good hydration, and the neck movements that we do are very, very, very important. So let's do a few neck movements and open up these systems in the body. You wonder why we do these exercises. If you know why, you're apt to do them. If you don't know why, then you'll say, oh, well, I don't need to do those. I've got too many other things. I'm too busy today. So we ignore our bodies, and we do that to our own peril. So we want to make sure that we don't ignore the body. So sit up straight, lift the head, and drop the chin. Now, when I say sit up straight, if you're standing, you want to tuck your buttock towards me. So when if you're standing back there, push your buttock towards me and feel your body come into a much better posture. Just push the buttock towards me, and then lift the back of the head like a string's pulling it up, and then you're in really good posture. Sometimes we think we're in good posture when we're not. Now we're going to work the neck. We're going to do 4 or 5 exercises just for the neck and open up those systems that run up the spinal cord. So take a big inhale, and then exhale and turn and look backwards over the shoulder. And then inhale back to the center. Now do it on the other side. Through the nose, let the eyes roll and look backwards. Now we're also exercising the eyes, and that connects directly to the brain. We have a lot of muscles in the head. So nice and slow and gentle. The eyes roll and look backwards. It's called looking backwards till the illness disappears. So you do about 6 or 8 of each of these exercises. These are really great to do in the morning when you get up. Just open that neck, get that system flowing, get that nitric oxide flowing. Nose breathing in and out through the nose. One last time, looking backwards till the illness disappears. Now, if you had any snap, cracking, or popping in your neck, that's tension. Tension causes 60 to 90% of all of our illnesses and injuries, according to Cal and Stanford. So 60 to 90% of all the reasons you go to the doctors, if you want to cut out 60 to 90% of your doctor visits, you get the tension out of your body, and you cut out about 60 to 90% of them. You'll actually be aging backwards or reversing the aging. You're going to feel a lot younger. You're going to act a lot younger. You're still growing older, but you're going to feel a lot younger. I feel younger now, and I'll be 88 next month, than I did at 63 when I retired. I was in really bad shape then. I'm in much better shape, so I've reversed over those 25 years. I take no pharmaceuticals, right? I've never been in the hospital. So all of these things really help on the body, and I thank God for Qigong every day because it makes a huge difference in our health and wellness. And I haven't lifted a barbell in 25 years. My body's in pretty good shape. So I do all of these things with Qigong the way the ancient energy masters taught us, and it just reverses the aging. You'll feel a lot younger than you ever felt before. Now I want to work some of the strongest muscle in my whole body, and that's my little jaw muscle right here that opens and closes my jaw, crushes all my food, and it gets out of shape really quick because it's the strongest, stronger than any other muscle in your whole body ratio to size. It's very, very, it's almost like steel. So look up, let your eyes roll, and look way back on the ceiling, let your mouth open wide. Now look down deep into the earth and let your mouth close. Now we're moving up and down. Now you may have some snap, cracking, and popping in that inner ear. If you do, you're releasing some tension. And remember, that tension is causing 60 to 90% of all of our illnesses and all of our injuries. According to Stanford and Harvard, as well as Cal, they all say that medical schools, that tension, and now that's in that little jaw muscle. And that connects directly into the inner ear. And that inner ear, we have our proprioception, that's balance, where the body's at in time and space. And if you have less snap, cracking, and popping, you'll have less balance than you did when it was nice and soft. When you were young, you didn't have those snap, cracks, and pops in the body. So one last time, opening up that little muscle and stretching it out, getting some tension out of it. And then bring it to a gentle stop. Hydration is very, very important. Your doctors always say drink 5 to 8 glasses of water. Now you don't want to drink more than that, you don't want to drink less than that, but 5 to 8 is a pretty good number, and that includes some of your food also. So, if you get too much, it'll wash some of the magnesium and calcium and vitamins and minerals out of your body. If you drink way too much, if you drink too little, it dehydrates. So we want to hydrate the neck and make sure. See, what happens is you drink that 5 to 8 glasses of water, it's going to turn into what we call an oily bath. And that oily bath is not going to penetrate unless you move. It'll go out through the waste system. So then your body will still be dehydrated and you'll wonder why. So we bring the ear over to the shoulder here and then just go in a slow circle and see if there's any snap, cracks, or pops in there. Remember those snap, cracks, and pops in the body's tension. So we want the neck to be soft like cotton, and we want the core to be strong like steel. So we're strengthening the muscles a bit. We're softening all of the tension, getting all that tension out of the neck, get those snap, cracks, and pops out. So 6 or 8 times, we just go in a big circle and let that oily bath penetrate in between the cartilage. You get all the cartilage and the ligaments and tendons that are holding the muscles and the bones together. Then we go the other direction a few times. Sometimes you won't have a snap, crack, or pop one way, but you will the other way. So I've got a few snap, cracks, and pops this way from how I sleep on the pillow at night. So I want to pay attention to that. So nice and gentle. Now all the snap, cracks, and pops are just about all gone from my neck. Just nice and slow and gentle. Keep that tension out and then bring it to a gentle stop. So now we've got that. Now we've got 7 cervical vertebrae, and that's what pumps it right into the brain. And it comes right from the coccyx, right down to the bottom of your back, comes up the back, goes right into the brain stem. And the brain stem are those 7 cervical vertebrae, which is part of your brain. So take the hand, put it right on the knot between the shoulders and the back. Feel that big knot, tap it forcefully. That's going to open it up, get it ready for the day. It's going to get some of that tension out. It's massaging it, so you can massage that tension out of your body. That's what massage therapists do. They massage tension out of your body and then bring it to a gentle stop. Now we've got that 7th cervical vertebrae open. Pull your shoulders back, push your chin towards me. Now turn the head slowly with the chin forward. Now you're working those 7 cervical vertebrae. Keep that chin forward, let that oily bath penetrate in. Keep it nice and gentle. So you got 4 parts to the brain. You got this cerebrum, and then you got the cerebellum, then you got the brain stem, and you got the heart. The heart is part of the brain system. The heart gives more instructions to the brain than the brain gives to the heart. So it really works hard sometimes. One last time, just practicing a few of these. So we got those. Now we want to get between the bones to the cartilage, so we just drop the head down like this, and then we turn, look backwards over the shoulder, and then we go the other side, nice and gentle. Just moving, breathing, stretching. Get those messengers opened up in the body. You're going to send messages all over your body. One last time, and then bring it to a gentle stop. So just by opening the neck, you want to do that on a regular basis. Open that neck up probably every morning. It takes you a few minutes. And keep that brain stem open so we get that cranial sacral fluid going up right into the brain system, because we want to get that brain cleansed out, and we want to get that lymphatic system open. We want to get it open and keep it open, because it will. The collagen and fibers is called a fascia membrane. We'll do a workshop on fascia membrane because it's so important to keep the fascia membrane soft in the body. It's full of collagen, fiber, and water. Now, if the water goes out for some reason, if you get a little dehydrated, then that collagen and fiber sticks together, and then you're going to have stiff joints. All your joints are going to get stiffer. Everything, your neck will get stiffer. The joints will get stiffer. You'll have a stiff body, and you say, oh, well, that's just aging. That's not aging. That's a sedentary lifestyle. You're just not moving enough. When you move, it opens up and gets that flowing again. So that's what it's all about. And that glymphatic system is so important to keep it open, to keep that blood flowing up to that brain and working it. So there's 2 systems, the glymphatic system that we want to think about today, and then the nitric oxide system. And they both come from nose breathing. So as Sandy was saying, the more you can nose breathe, you put that strip on your mouth at night and you do nose breathing, you're going to find that your brain fog is going to go away. A lot of the brain, is that true, Sandy? Yes. Yeah, there you go. The brain fog, cognitive fitness, everything starts to get sharper. My mind's sharper now than it was when I was 63. When I retired, I had a pretty foggy brain. Now it's much sharper now because of the nose breathing that I learned from the ancient energy masters, and it makes a huge difference. And with nitric oxide, you get 6 to 7 times % more nitric oxide into your blood system by nose breathing. And that's what Sandy was talking about, that book by James Nestor. He was at Stanford. He did a lot of research at Stanford, and they found that you get 6 to 7 times % more nitric oxide, which will expand every blood cell in your whole body just by nose breathing. Now, when you're doing your breathing practice, which we will do today, when you do that breathing practice, you get 10 to 15 times more nitric oxide if you hum. If you do that humming bee that we do sometimes, that'll put a tremendous amount of nitric oxide. So just little simple things like this, that if you're aware of them, you can change how your style of living just a little bit, and you'll find that your health and wellness. And what we're working for is HealthSpan. So the type of Qigong that I've created and that we're working on is HealthSpan Qigong. HealthSpan is having health right up till the day we die. Had a lady, what was she, 102, the lady in the class this morning? 101, she's gonna be 102 in April. She's in better shape than all of us. We call her our hero in the class. We tell her she's gonna live to be 115 at least. She might break the world record. She laughs harder and does more, but she's very active. See, she's been active her whole life. And she moves, and movement is medicine, and she does the things that we're talking about here. And that's why she's 102. We've had several of them in the class.
She always has a smile.
And she always laughs harder than anyone else, doesn't she? So just movement and medicine, laughing is really great medicine too. But we've had several of those people, well over 100, and some of them very famous people too, that have done some great things in their life. There's libraries named after them, and halls named after them, all kinds of things, living to be up into their hundreds. So we're all gonna live to be 100. It depends on the quality we want. We want the quality of that lady that was there this morning with us. We want to be 102 and be very happy and be very healthy. We don't want one without the other. It's no fun to just live the last 20 years of your life in poor health, or the last 10 years, the last decade. In our country, we have the worst country in the world as far as health span. We spend the last 14 years, according to the statistics, in poor health. We take a lot of pharmaceutical drugs, we do a lot of hospital visits, we have a lot of broken bones, we're crippled a lot. So these things happen. But in other countries, they don't, because they don't have a good healthcare system. We have the best healthcare system in the world. Our doctors are the best, and our hospitals are the best, and the pharmaceuticals are great. They're going to keep you alive to be 100, 102, just like her. So how do you want to spend that 102 years? How do you want to spend that last 10 or 15 years? That's why you need to learn about the body a little bit, so that once you understand it, then you can do things to correct it, and they're all simple, easy, and it only takes you about 15 to 30 minutes a day to do some of these things. So poor sleep, lower nitric or oxide, and then higher stress hormones is what the results is. If you have poor sleep, you'll have less nitric oxide, and you'll have higher stress hormones, and the blood vessels will stiffen, and your joints will start to stiffen. Blood pressure is going to rise. Oxygen delivery drops. You're not going to get as much oxygen in your body. Stress hormones increase. You're going to have more stress. Healing slows, so the healing gets very, very slow, and then the energy declines, and that's what we're working against. So a good practice for increasing nitric oxide when done naturally practices. They have a lot of nitric oxide that you can take in pill form, and that's probably not a good way to do it. So it's a low risk and a high reward to get natural nitric oxide into your body. And gentle Qigong, HealthSpan Qigong that we're doing, Qigong relaxation when we do our meditations, the breathing exercises that we do, and the Qigong, all of the various exercises that we do, just simply lowers it and increases everything in your body and makes a huge difference in the relaxation and then stretching the spine and the various things of that type. So we want to do it naturally is what I'm saying. Encourage it naturally, not overstimulated. A lot of times overstimulation is going to cause more problems, it's going to help. Excessive supplementation, pharmaceuticals and things, and aggressive methods are not necessarily and not ideal for seniors. We just, as we age, the body just can't take care of them, right? So natural, or nature already give us a perfect system, and if we just do it 15 to 30 minutes a day, that system will work. So let's practice some of those now. We've got some pressure points. Now pressure points means that's where the blood flows. Remember, the arteries take it out, the veins bring it back, and on top of it, just like in my arm, all these veins and arteries. Now they're all covered here with a fascia membrane. Every cell in your body is covered. It holds it together. If you ever cooked a chicken or saw a chicken cut open, you see a shiny part on that chicken, that's holding it together. That's the fascia membrane. It's all through your body. Every cell's covered with it. So along these veins and arteries is where you have a lot of fascia membrane, so that's called meridians, and you have Zhang and Fu type meridians, just like you have arteries and we have veins. So the arteries take it away, so that's the same way the Fu fascia membrane takes it from the organs, it takes it out of the body, and then the Zhang, just like the veins, brings it back into the body, and the veins brings the blood back to the heart. So they all work in conjunction. And once you understand, then you can start to move them. And when you move them, they start to open up, and you get that blockage out of it. It's called a blockage. And the more blockages it have, the less health we have. So we're just going to do if you just practice this 30 minutes a day, every week I'm going to give you 3 exercises and 3 pressure points that you can practice 30 minutes a day. And if you do it during that week, you'll understand that, and then you'll have a new system the following week. When we meet, I always give you a handout with 3 of everything in it, and that's a 30-minute exercise, so you can learn it. Once you learn it, then you can go on to another system and try to learn about it. So let's start out with the 30-minute daily practice for sleep. This is for sleep, so you might want to do this at night. We want to awaken the nitric oxide, and we want to awaken that glymphatic system, that brain system that's going to clear out all of the stress from the night. So the first thing we do is take 2 fingers. First of all, you're kind of getting a little drowsy. Let's laugh. Come on, laugh. Belly laugh. There we go. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. See, now you're fresh and alert. Don't you feel fresh and alert? You were going to sleep before, so now I can see the difference. We got some smiles out there. So we've got the first one, we call it welcome fragrance. And the blood and the veins and arteries go right to a certain spot on your nose. So if your nose gets stopped up at night, then you can't breathe through these nasal cavities up here through nose breathing. So take 2 fingers and put them right where the nose connects to the face. This is the spot you want to do at nighttime before you go to bed. It only takes a minute or so. We'll just do a minute. Just press in on that spot and then go in a circle. Go in a circle. Now that's going to open the nasal passages. Remember that nitric oxide, you get 6 to 7 times % more if you have these nasal passages open, because when that blood goes through the nasal passages, it picks up the nitric oxide, puts it in the blood, and then every blood vessel expands. And so you're giving it a really good a dose of nitric oxide in your body, and your heart's going to thank you very much, especially if you have any heart problems. You really want to keep this passage open so you can do that nose breathing. So you go about 30 seconds each direction, and then just run the fingers up the nose like this, or out the cheeks. Right under the cheeks there's some cavities, and then brush it off. And now you feel a lot easier breathing. And some of you out rubbing the nose, and you want to get your Kleenex out and it starts to run. It's okay. Because it will open those passageways up. So that's the first spot, and it's located in the crease on each side of the nose where the nostril meets the cheek. It's just that simple. Benefits open the nasal passages so that you can focus on that sleep and that nose breathing at nighttime. And if you find, you can ask your partner, if you find your mouth is really dry, that means that you're probably not breathing through the nose, you're breathing through the mouth. And dryness is one of the 7 pathogens. It'll bring a lot of pathogens into your body. You'll have more cavities, you'll have more gum disease, all kinds of things. That's why a lot of the kids now have to have braces, because it'll even shrink right here, is what Stanford in that book, Breathe, that Sandy was talking about. He talks about how it shrinks. Over time, it'll shrink the jaw here, then you have to have braces on you. So it eliminates a lot of those. That dryness in the mouth is really a killer thing. So you want to keep that passageway open. Now there's another spot called the third eye point. And we use it a lot in yoga and different things, chakras they call them. Well, it's more than that, because at the third eye is where you have your endocrine gland system. And that's where the whole system is at. What do endocrine glands give us? Building blocks, which are hormones. So you're both right. Gives us hormones. We need a lot of hormones in our system, and that's how you build the body up. Well, right here at the third eye, right about an inch in, right in front of the brain, hanging down from the brain, about the size of a peanut, is called your hypothalamus. And that's the commanding post. That's going to tell all 7, just like you have 7 chakras in yoga, well, in Qigong, we have 7 endocrine glands that we work. And it gives commands to those endocrine glands. It tells the body to produce hormones. The body won't produce hormones without the hypothalamus giving the message. And then it's going to give the message to the first one that hangs down right below it, and it's about the size of a pea. So you got a little peanut, you got a little pea hanging down. That's the pituitary gland. That is a master gland that gives 10 commands to the body to produce hormones, and then the body will produce hormones. It'll send messages. If we're doing strength training, which we do a lot of times in this class where we flex our muscles and do iron shirt Qigong, when you do that, then it's going to tell the muscles to get strong. It's going to tell the body to heal. So it's going to send messages out to produce hormones. It gives us 10 different hormones, that one little gland right there, the pituitary gland. And those 10 different hormones are everything from dopamine and serotonin to human growth hormones, all kinds of hormones that it'll signal the body to produce. Now that's 2 of the ones right here in the third eye area in the center of your brain. And then right in the center of your brain is another one that the scientists found. Of course, the ancient energy masters always said It's a crystal palace because it's full of crystals. When they cut it open, they did find it was full of crystals. It's only about the size of a grain of rice. That little gland sends messages to the body, and what it'll send a message to is to produce melatonin. So that little gland right there, is the hypothalamus is going to tell it to produce melatonin, and it's going to regulate your whole body with melatonin. So if we massage right here, we'll open up what we call the crystal palace. Now also, just like when you were a kid, anyway, I was a kid in the 40s, and in the 40s we had crystal radios, and they communicated with the whole universe, and it was like magic. How do they send messages? So the crystal palace is the same way. It works on your ESPs, your intuition, your karma, your clairvoyance comes from that little crystal gland right there. So we can just take these two fingers, put them right on the third eye, and we massage right there before we go to bed. And that's going to open up what we call the crystal palace. You're going to have more melatonin. You're going to have more serotonin. You're going to have a lot of good hormones flowing through your body. So we go about 30 seconds one way, and then we go 30 seconds the other way. So we've got two of these spots that we want to massage before we go to bed. We've got the one right on the side of the nose, and the other one at the third eye. Just take a few minutes, and then practice makes perfect, and you'll find that the hormones will start to flow much freer, and then brush it off. And those are all over your body. There's 7 of them, and there's about the same places. If you're a yoga person, you know where chakras were at. If not, there's 7 of them in your body, and some of them are right on top of the kidneys, like the adrenals and some of the various ones. And we work those a lot of times. So those are 2 of the points. The third point that we want to open up and make sure that there's no soreness in there. So if you have soreness in any of these spots, then you have blockages, and then the blood's not flowing. If the blood doesn't flow, the energy doesn't flow, because around the blood vessels there's that fascia membrane where the energy flows, so it can't flow. And then underneath that, you've got a nerve system, so you have a soreness, and then that's tension, and tension causes 60 to 90% of all of our illnesses and injuries. We don't even know that tension's in our body till we press on it sometimes, and then we'll find a sore spot. Let's take 2 fingers and do the third one now. Here's your neckline right here. Here's your collarbone. Go underneath it. There's a little indentation there. Push in and hold right under the bone. Find an indentation. Fill the ribs in there. Everyone take your thumb and push in, right? Here's your neckline, go under the collarbone, push in right there. This is a kidney point, and the blood will flow from here to your kidneys. It's point number 27. You don't need to know that necessarily, but just remember this is going to open the kidneys. The kidneys take 25% of all your heart's production. So kidneys need to be open, especially in the winter. They work harder in the winter. So if you have any soreness in there, that's tension. So push in with the fingers, and you'll feel either a tender spot or a sore spot. Now thumb walk around until you find it, you're right in the center of that tender spot or sore spot. Now massage it. Just go in a circle, massage it clockwise and then counterclockwise. And that's going to open up that system and let that energy flow from that area right there from your heart. It's going to go from your heart right down into your kidneys, carrying energy and carrying blood. Veins and arteries get blocked. So these blockages in our body is what ages us. So you didn't know that soreness was in there. Well, that's what's aging you. So you should be able to find it. If you didn't find it, you want to come up afterwards, I'll show you where it's at. You may not be on the right spot, but it doesn't matter. It's just, as long as you massage that area, it's going to open it up just a bit and then brush it off. Now, that's the only 3 that you need to do at nighttime, and those are going to help you sleep a lot sounder. But just to give you an idea, just come on down from that point, come down about 2 inches to the outside, right on the ribs, and just press right in there. Now you'll find another kidney point. And so they run all of them down from here to your kidneys. So just press right in on the ribs. You have to feel the ribs. Around the right cavities of the bones is where you'll get tension or stress. And if you have any soreness in there, say do chi. So there's quite a few. So you didn't know that soreness in there. That's what's aging us. So if we just massage it a little bit, it's going to release it. And see, when we do the gentle Qigong exercises that we were doing, we're stretching those spots. What happens when you stretch those spots? They release. And so you release the energy. So you see, movement is medicine. Sleep is movement. You're moving all the time when you're sleeping. And then brush it off. So those 3 you want to remember, they're going to be in your handout today, so you can press those before you go to bed at night. That'll open up some of the systems, the very important systems in your body. And the more familiar you become with the systems, the better off you're going to be. That's going to ease your breathing, support your nasal breathing, do all kinds of things. So now, exercise for sleep, we want to awaken the nitric oxides in that glymphatic system. It's going to cleanse our brain out. So we've got some movements that we can do, and it's going to, the brain inflammation will decrease. Remember that soreness you found in there, that's inflammation. The doctors call it chronic inflammation. That's what ages us, called chronic inflammation. So we have these sore spots all up and down our body where it's blocked. That's what's aging us. It's breaking down the systems in our body. So it makes a huge difference that when it goes through the brain up here, through this system in your brain, you got another system like we were talking about. It's going to get that amyloid and that tau buildup, that plaque and cholesterol is not going to build up in your brain. Tangles are not going to be in your brain if you keep it open and keep that system working. It's carry that blood's flowing through there, arteries bringing it in, veins bringing it out, bringing it back down and taking it out of your body, the waste. If it doesn't, if you have a blockage, you have a soreness like you had there, that's tension, and that tension is going to age the brain, and you're going to have poor cognitive fitness. So it makes a huge difference. So just by moving, remember we were doing one a little earlier called Hold the Sky. Well, you see those 2 points that we were pressing? That helps that. So this is the first exercise you want to do, is lifting the sky with both palms. You just want to come up and lift the sky here with both palms. Now that opens your ribs where we were pressing, that opens your diaphragm. The diaphragm's right here, and it pushes the lungs up and down. And then let the hands come down this way. Now if we want to produce more of that nitric oxide, which is a molecule of life, and all of this is in your workbook, so you'll get the workbook when you leave here, so you don't have to remember anything, it'll all be in the workbook. If you want to increase that nitric oxide 10 to 15 times more if you use the voice. Why does that work? Because you have another system in your body called cranial nerves. You have 12 cranial nerves, 6 on each side running from your brain down through your body. One of them is called a vagus nerve, and it's the longest nerve in your whole body. It runs down the side of your neck here. I couldn't be talking without it. I couldn't eat without it. I couldn't swallow without it. I couldn't do anything without it. So they call it a wandering nerve because it's a very long nerve. It doesn't stop there. That's where it starts. Now it's going to go all through your heart, your lungs, all the way through your heart and lungs. It's one nerve. It's going to go all through there. It doesn't stop there. It's what we call the wandering nerve. It goes down through all your gastrointestinal area, this whole area down here. So this one nerve comes from your brain down through your throat, goes through your heart, goes through all the gastrointestinal area, this whole area down here, and there's 200,000 nerve endings. So it's very hard for that to release. So if you have a stroke, like David had a stroke here, when he went into the hospital, they put ice on the side of his throat here to try to get it released. Cold will release it, or they gave David a glass of water with ice in it, and then he drank it. And that'll help release it. It's very hard to release 200,000 nerve endings, so it holds hypertension. And if you get mad at someone today and you see them a week from now, you'll still be mad at them. That hypertension's still in there. You're the SOB. You're still going to get upset with them. So it holds that hypertension for a long time. But sound, the sound goes through there, the vibrations, and that's what sound bath is all about. You heard Susan on the radio with me on Friday. We do our radio show every Friday. Listen in. I'm on at 9 o'clock. We talk about health and wellness. And that vibration, as Susan says, the body's 70% water, and it vibrates through the body, and it releases a lot of those nerve endings, and so that vagus nerve releases. So we want to get that. So when we're doing these exercises, we're stretching these spots and we're clearing it. So if we do that again, so we're just going to hold the sky. This is one of them that you do at night before you go to bed. You just come up and hold the sky, and now you inhale, and now with a big om, keep your now nose breathing, but like a bumblebee. See that vibration. It'll release 10 to 15 times more nitric oxide. Nose breathing will release 7 to 8 more times. This will give you 10 to 15 times more nitric oxide. So sound, that vibration, that healing sound going through the body, through all that water in your body, the whole universe vibrates, so your body vibrates, and the more it vibrates, it releases those nerves. So it's a great way to release the nerves so you can sleep at night. So let's try a couple more of those. So we just come up, we're going to stretch those spots we were pressing, and a lot of you said you had soreness. So we inhale up. Now when you're practicing your breathing, you want it to be like 4 seconds up, but 8 seconds down. You want the out breath to be twice as long as the in-breath, and then it's going to relax you a lot more. It's going to clear the systems in the body, and that's what we're all about, is understanding these systems in our body so we can get healthier and have less doctor visits, and your doctor is going to be much happier. They're very good doctors in our city, and they're just too busy. They can't keep up. You call today, you want to get an appointment, they're going to say go to the emergency room. You can't get an appointment today. They might give you an appointment 3 weeks from now. Some doctors, a year from now, you call a heart doctor, you won't get in for a year. Unless you have an emergency, then you can get in. So let's try that again. So 4 seconds up, so we breathe in. Long and deep is the key. Now the key coming down is slow and soft. And then you pause and make sure the lungs are clear. And then inhale up. Loud and clear. Now that vibration's going through your body. Inhale up. One last time. Inhale up. So in your workbook, it's going to have all 3 of those pressure points. It's going to have all 3 of these exercises. The next breathing exercise you want to do, remember that spot here, if you had soreness in that spot where the kidney, either one of those 2 spots right here? Well, it's called open the heavenly gates. So we're going to open the heavenly gates here. Opens the chest and the heart. It improves your breathing and circulation and gets those kidney points so you can do slow nose breathing. And basically, the arms just sweep forward and wide. What we're going to do is stretch this whole area in here where we had soreness on these 2 spots that we were pressing in here. So basically, we just come here, we inhale. Pause, make sure the lungs are clear. Inhale. Twice as long going out. One last time. Long and deep. So that's 2 of the exercises that you would do. You'd open up those 3 pressure points. You do 2 breathing exercises. As a matter of fact, if you practice your breathing exercises 2 or 3 times a day, it'll make a huge difference in your health and wellness. You probably cut your doctor visits way back just by getting that body moving and getting that oxygen and getting more of that nitric oxide into your system is going to make a huge difference in the health and wellness. So the third one, we're just going to gather energy. We call it chi, but it's energy. We gather the energy and we wash the lungs. So we want to wash, it's called washing the lungs. And it brings fresh energy into the chest and focuses on slow nose breathing. It clears stagnation and emotional heaviness. So if you have emotional heaviness, it's going to clear that. Promotes long, smooth breathing. And basically all we do there is just bring our hands here. It's a real easy one. And at nighttime when you do this, do about 6 to 12 times, and then you'll go to bed after that, or you'll do your meditation after that. So breathe in through the nose, about here, and turn it over. We just want to clear this whole part of our body, and then and then pause. Long and deep. Slow and soft. Pause and feel how relaxed your body is at the bottom. Everything's out, long and deep. And then just pause, feel the body. Inhale. So that's it. You'll have 3, and every week I give you 3 of those. So if you practice that this week, take you about 15 minutes a day, maybe 30 minutes at the max. It depends on how efficient you are at it and how good you get at it. You can do it in almost any amount of time. But do it before you go to bed, and you're going to find you're going to sleep a lot sounder. You're going to do more nose breathing. If you find that you're not nose breathing, use Sandy's strip, a little strip across your mouth, and close that mouth. You say, well, that's kind of drastic, isn't it? Well, Stanford Medical School says, no, that's what they do. They sell them at CVS. You can get the one that Sandy's got there. That's an excellent one there. It's probably the best one of all. Or you can get those little breathe right strips and just put it across your mouth here. Instead of putting it on your nose, put it across here. That'll close the mouth. Whatever it takes to close the mouth, to make sure that you're not snoring. If you have a dry mouth, you want to make sure you close that mouth. Dryness is one of the 7 evils. Dampness in the body is another one. Wind, there's 7 of them that causes havoc, and dryness is one of them. We'll probably do a workshop one of these days on how to get the dryness out of the body, because it's so important to keep those 7 evils out of your body, the 7 pathogens that invade your body, and so you want to work on that. So we're just about out of time, so let's do a 5-minute meditation. So just sit up straight. We do the breath of life meditation. It's for nitric oxide and the glymphatic system. And we're just going to wake them up. So the first minute, we're just practicing. So we're not going to do a full meditation. It's a 5-minute meditation. But we'll just practice it here. So when you do it at home, you'll take more time. You'll use more affirmations. And affirmations are very important. Remember, that's the metaphysical. The mental causes the physical. And most of you were here and you had your fingers grow, so you know that the fingers will grow just by telling them to grow. You don't have to pull them or anything, but they'll get a little bit longer than the other fingers because the energy flows there. It's the same way with metaphysical causation. Affirmation brings that energy to wherever you want it to go, and it's going to expand it. So sit up straight, either stare down the nose, close the eyes, sit quietly, settle the breath. So we inhale softly through the nose for about 4 seconds. Then we exhale through the nose for at least 6 seconds, 6 to 8 seconds. And then we pause and feel the body soften. It'll get very soft. And when you start the first minute, just say after me, my breath is my medicine. And then we start to breathe 4 seconds in, 6 to 8 seconds out. We pause and feel the body soften. Just feel everything soften. And we just sit quietly. Then after about a minute or so, and in the second minute, we're going to come into our awareness of our sinuses. So just say after me, I am strong, balanced, and full of life. I am strong, balanced, and full of life. Say it quietly. Feel the cool air enter your nose. Imagine your sinuses are lighting up with a healing nitric oxide as you breathe in and out through the nose. Feel the lungs open like a flower. Then you'll be coming into your third minute. You want to become aware of the circulation. So circulation awareness will be in your third minute. So say after me, every inhale fills me with energy and clarity. Every inhale fills me with energy and clarity. Say it quietly. And then imagine each inhale carrying oxygen and life force. Imagine every exhale releasing stress and tension. Bringing in oxygen and life force, releasing stress and tension. Then in the 4th minute, you want to come into your whole body vitality. So say after me, longevity with a high quality life is my path. Longevity with a high quality life is my path. Say quietly. Then when we go into the 5th minute, you end with 3 slow, deep nose breaths. And visualize the nitric oxide expanding your blood vessels. Just feel them expanding in your body, increasing the circulation. Feel it increasing the circulation to the brain, the heart, internal organs. Feel warmth, clarity, and strength. Then gently open the eyes. So you'll get all of that in a handout, and it's about a 30-minute max practice, and probably more like a 15-minute practice. If you do that every night for this next week, and then next week I'll give you a whole new system to work on. So these 2 weeks you've got exercises for sleep, and sleep is probably one of the most important things for health and wellness we can do. So let's go ahead and close with just a little guided meditation here. Just follow along with me. Put your hands together right in front of the heart here, and then just bring it right in front of the stomach. And then bring it straight down the middle, and let's get centered as we go out. I don't want you to go out drowsy. I don't want any car wrecks on the way home. So we're going to get centered with love, peace, and compassion. Now, the Tai Chi definition of love is perfect kindness, and that comes from our heart, our spirit. So we're balancing the spirit. Perfect kindness for ourselves and all that we meet today. And then the Tai Chi definition of peace, that comes from the mind, the brain. Perfect contentment. Let's be perfectly content with all that we're doing today and all that we have. And compassion. Compassion comes from the gut area, the body. I have a gut feeling. Perfect awareness is compassion. Become aware of this small universe we call the body. The more you know about it, the healthier you will be. One last time, getting centered with love, perfect kindness, peace, perfect contentment, and compassion, perfect awareness. And we do it with gratitude, which is perfect thankfulness. Now come up front, put your hands about 6 inches apart right here. Move them slowly up and down. Now you might feel a little push or a pull, or a little sensation in those hands. That's your etheric field, is what Stanford calls it. We're balancing it in front of our heart. It's so strong that they take a picture of it with an electromagnetic camera. And they try to get it, the better it's balanced, the healthier you be. We're balancing it in front of the heart. So our goal is always happiness. Don't let the world change your happiness. Let your happiness change the entire world. Now turn the hands over. They're going to feel like a vacuum. Put the other hand on top now. Now it feels like a vacuum. Why? Because we have 2 sides to the heart. Pretty soon it'll start to push or pull again, or you'll feel a sensation. Now you balance in the other side of the heart. This energy is so strong, if you get lost in the woods, they're going to fly a helicopter around over the woods. They won't see you, but they'll see a big bright spot about 10 feet around your body. It's called your etheric field. We simply call it guardian chi. We've been balancing it for thousands of years. So keep it nice and balanced. Stanford now does it, and they said it really does work. So they're proving all the ways of the ancient energy masters, and then bring it to a gentle stop. A fist for love, an open hand for peace. Put love and peace together again. And tell everyone around you, thank you. Smile at them. Be happy. Say hello to them. Introduce yourself if you need to. Okay. Then open both hands for world peace. We need a lot of world peace. And then put this hand under here and this one. That's going to cross in front of your heart so we settle our emotions. And then we come out to the shoulders, and now we bring the hands down to the knees. And then we come up, And now we've settled the body, the mind, and the spirit. So we've released them so you won't carry it with you all day. See, if you start something or if you do something during the day, you'll be worrying about it in the afternoon if you don't complete it. So that completes it. Your body, mind, spirit is free. We have one thing left to do so you don't drive home drowsy. You need to be fresh and alert. You need 3 belly laughs every day. We've done 1. We're going to do 2 more, so let's laugh. Try to make it a belly laugh. There we go. Very good, very good, yay. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. See, now you're feeling much fresher and much more alert. Now we're going to do the famous Qigong chicken dance. Take your thumbs, put them in your armpits. Now your elbows are chicken wings, so we go, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, 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 ha, ha. One last time. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. I love you all. Have a great day.